What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again for another episode of Lights, Camera, Kiko, Dean the Dream Collects. We are here for Friday, October the 13th, 5:18 p.m. We are approximately 3 minutes behind. I did see one comment already. Will's on Latino time. I don't know what that means exactly, but someone's gonna have to explain that one to me because I don't want to go down that one and get myself in trouble. So I don't really know. I don't want to speak out of turn. All I know is
fair.
What's up, Dean?
It was my fault, and I am Latino, so that makes sense.
Okay. So it was Dean's fault. So Dean's on Latino time. I'm on, I guess, Caucasian time. I don't know how that works exactly, but I'm not gonna get into that one because, like Dean always says, it's kind of racist. So,
it seems racial.
Yeah, it seems racial. That's what it is. What the fuck it is. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We got a fun show for you guys. We got a lot of great topics. More sort of philosophical, big picture stuff this evening, just because really, honestly, ain't that much shit that's been dropping lately. So a lot of stuff we've already talked about. We talked about a lot of the InArt's stuff last week. Of course, Hot Toys has dropped some real bangers over the last 2 days, which we will talk about, and then some bigger picture stuff that we'll get into as well. That said, let's address our vendors level panel that we have for this evening. As always, my amazing co-host, Mr. Keco Collects. Kiko, I heard you're officially a man now. Can you fill the people in on how that growth came to be?
Yeah, so if you remember, I guess it was last weekend. It's been a week. I don't change tires. I get people to do that for me. I don't believe in having to get out of my car on the road, put myself in harm's way, jack up a 2-ton vehicle, and do that myself. So
yeah.
Amy blows tires out like we go through bread in the house. It's crazy.
She does, bro.
I've never how many times have we canceled this show because I'm having to go run to go pick up her tire or something ridiculous like that. So last Saturday she blew a tire again. I'm like, here we go. And so I was starting to feel like I wasn't a man because I can't change tires. I don't change tires. I pay for people to do that type of thing. And by the way, if you're ever stranded in Tennessee, dial 311 and the Tennessee Department of Transportation sends somebody to you to put you a new tire on, air up your tire, get you off the road, whatever it may be. So props to Tennessee Department, and our wheel tax on your license plate goes to that. So well done, Tennessee.
Thank you, State of Tennessee.
So hopefully, Will, when you're here in a couple of weeks, we don't have to experience that, obviously. But if we are in that situation, 311. But all that to say is that I am a man when it comes to a few other things. Now, I've told you, Will, that I'm not very handy. I barely was able to put together these shelves and different things like that. Barely put together my 1 million DTOFs that I have. But I said, it's time. It's time to be a man, because Amy said, Will's coming. It's time to go ahead and put on something better in the bathroom. This bathroom sucks. We need to figure something out. So she's like, let's redo your bathroom. I was like, babe, you don't understand. You have to hire contractors. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of time, and we don't need to worry about that right now. She's like, Kevin, this thing looks terrible. Let's go pick out some paint. Let's pick out some So anyway, she got all these mirrors, lighting fixtures, sinks, all that stuff. And I'm like, what are we going to do with this stuff? She's like, well, I saw a couple YouTube videos on how to do it. I guess we're going to do it. So she climbs to the top of our sink, pops the mirror off the wall, because it's glued and onto the wall when the contractors put that on there. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. So she went and get like a shim, like the shim type of thing. And you just start like banging and then it pops off. And she's like, well, okay, mirror's off. I guess we're doing this thing. I was like, I guess. So we paint the walls, we do all that stuff. But then I'm like, what am I going to do with all this other stuff? So I'm like, I'm going to be a man about this. So I YouTubed a couple things, and I installed and changed out our sink. I went ahead and wired and put up new lighting fixtures. I did all this stuff, and I was taking vice grips and bullshit and doing all kinds of stuff under the sink in the bathroom. And Will, I'm excited for you to come in here to say, wow, all this work that you did for me, man, are you a man? So yes, I am a man now. And
dude, you officially, bro, honestly, I thought the bathroom was fucking great when I was there. It was great. Like I thought it looked good.
It was great. Well, I think it's gray. Amy calls it beige, but it's the standard like beige. It's the generic light. It's all stock. And
I mean, it looked great though.
She needs a custom experience. So now it's evergreen green with gold accents and everything. It's pretty exciting. So, and
that sounds like a 5-star hotel
thing,
there.
When you're sitting on the pot, you get to look out and see pictures of the wings, and that's the best part. And giant gold frames.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're
going
excited
to be
about
worth. That's going to be worth the price of admission to Tennessee. 100%.
Absolutely.
Bro. That's going to be worth it. So I cannot wait for that, dude. What a fucking dude. Honestly, Dean, if Kiko can do all that, he can build a fucking Modra case.
But it's the price. It's the price, bro.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the price. You know this, bro. You got 300 figures.
You probably did that whole bathroom for the price of a Modra case.
Exactly.
Correct.
That's probably
100%.
Probably true. Dean the Dream, bro. I know. I'm glad I got you on here with Kiko because I know there's some beef publicly between you two.
Yeah.
And we probably need to squash that now.
Fucker.
Right? Yeah.
What'd you do, Dean? What'd you do?
I was speaking ill of the Ahsoka show.
And Kiko called you out publicly, from what I heard.
Well, I just wanted clarity. He's dodged me and ducked me for like 3.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I just wanted clarity because if you remember, he put that Jurassic Park meme, video, gif, whatever you want to call it, of Ian Malcolm saying that, you know, you're just a bunch of corporate money hungry bitches that's just trying to exploit the system. You didn't think if you could, you'd know. I'd rather you know how it goes. That you didn't stop to think if you should. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And he said that's what the sequels trilogy did. And I was like, I agree with you on that. But he also said that, you know, Ahsoka had some issues. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
But you know what? We squashed our beef. We'll get
specific. Yeah, it was just specifically because of Sabine getting stabbed through the gut, and she's totally okay.
She looks fine there.
Yeah, I was like, why does everybody survive getting stabbed all of a sudden?
I do agree with that.
No one's died via lightsaber since Qui-Gon Jinn and Han Solo.
Qui-Gon was just like, fuck it, I'm headed out.
To be fair, Morgan died by a lightsaber blade.
Oh, that's true.
But she got hit with the other blade too, so that's probably what
the sword of Talzin is hit the killing blow.
Exactly.
Man, you know the name of it, man. You're a super fan, dude.
Yeah.
Well, they say it, so they're like, "Here's the blade of Talzin."
Kiko just pays really close attention.
They say a lot of shit in that show, and I'm just like,
I like Dean. I like the show. I thought
it's not the worst show on the planet, but it's not great.
The Sabine bullshit pushing Ezra onto the Star Destroyer. That was some bullshit. I'll give you that.
Honestly, Sabine's cool now.
Yeah, bro, I could go on for about 2 hours on
that. If you take Sabine and Ezra out of it, I think I could actually enjoy it, because that is the only issue I had. Is that, are we not going to talk about how selfish of a bastard she was to risk the entire fate of the galaxy to see her friend, and then she gets there and she's like, "Well, that's okay. Just go. I don't want to see you anymore."
She's like,
anyway.
"Hey,
yeah,
missed you,
missed you anyway.
Like,
let's go.
The fuck? It's like,
let's go live with the turtle people."
The turtle. They seem like peaceful people. I'd live with them. I like them.
Bro, you didn't give that dude the Gok 9000 the second you saw him. If you're gonna,
they're brothers and sisters, yeah.
Threatening Thrawn on the
galaxy. They brothers and sisters?
They act like they're brother. Well, this is
not Game of Thrones, Dean.
Ezra used to have a crush on her, and then
Ezra had a thing for her, and she was like,
she friend zoned him.
Is it it's like Brady Bunch? Is that what it is?
Well, she's a little older than he is, and so she was always kind of like, whatever. You're just whatever. But no then, like,
no one's gonna get.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the second he was gone, she was like, "Fuck, I kind of do like him." So.
Oh, okay.
I need him to impale me with his lightsaber blade.
I think we've all been there, right? You've been friend zoned once before, and then she comes back around later, and then you're like, it's too late. You missed your opportunity.
Yeah, you dumb bitch.
Is that what Dean would know, bro? He has more ladies than anyone on this chat or in this panel. So I mean, you know, he has the technique to show it. So yeah. Anyway,
well, I hope I only have one woman, because that could get me in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I guess. Yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, we're all monogamous collectors here. Let's put that, except Dean. But the rest of us are monogamous collectors. Not Dean though. Dean's a wild man. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to address a couple of the comments. Flash Messi is here, channel member. Thank you so much, bro. I hear while it's dying from all over the US with these announcements, bro. 100%. Mark Attack is here. Connor is here. What's up, Connor? Luis is here. The Collector. Number one, Maxim M. Kiko himself is here, and Dean and Kiko will fight today, maybe a little bit. 1-6 Figure Shot is here. What's up, bro? Paul Sue, what's up, bro? Dinesh the Agrado channel member. Thank you so much, Dinesh, being an awesome dude. Always, man. Appreciate you for being here. Chris Sanders here. Action in the Box, guys. Check out Action in the Box. Amazing dioramas and just all custom displays over there. Just amazing, dude. Batman Collectibles, Kiko, if you need an electrician, we got one. Batman Collectibles is willing to contribute. Appreciate it. A master, that's a good skill set, bro. Like if I was in a zombie apocalypse, electrician would be one of the first things I would go after. So that would be pretty legit. So Yeah, guys, let's address our first topic of the evening. Let's talk about the actual announcement that was made this morning. That is the Hot Toys Hera Syndulla. We got to talk about this. This is from the Ahsoka line. And I want to kind of address sort of what the figure looks like, what our overall thoughts on it, the price at $260, and then also look at the Ahsoka show in totality and say, okay, what other figures are we gonna see here? Because we got Chopper. We got Sabine so far. We do not have Ahsoka the White yet. We got our Hera Syndulla here. We don't have Thrawn yet. We don't have, Shin. We don't have Balin. We don't have Morgan Elsbeth. There could be other figures that are made in this line. However, the ratings, I'd say, were decent. From what I saw, the ratings were decent to good. Maybe not quite Mando level, right? But I think there is a lot of excitement and engagement surrounding Ahsoka and the Star Wars franchise right now because of Ahsoka. So maybe Hot Toys is banking on that. Kiko, talking about Hera Syndulla here, what do you think? Is Hot Toys going to commit to the Ahsoka line despite sort of the ratings that they probably have seen significantly online?
I would certainly hope so if you are going to commit to the Flash line. I mean, God. I mean, they put out some figures you would never think they're going to come, and then they double down on that. And I don't think we talked about that last week or whatever, but that ridiculous alternate Ezra, and I mean, if they commit to the Flash, but they can't commit to Star Wars, which is their bread and butter, then we have some serious problems. Now, I don't want to have incinerator troopers and mustard troopers and things like that. That's bullshit. Like, I thought those were, I just did a recent video about my worst figures. Incinerator troopers on there. I don't want to see stupid stuff, but named characters, I'm all over. And I think that they can do well on that. Now, granted, that's going to be a little more harder for R&D to do because it's not hidden under a helmet. And let's just talk objectively. This is a beautiful, well done figure. And I will say it's a great Hera figure. It may not be the best Mary Elizabeth Winstead figure. Not quite there on the likeness. And well, we were talking about this off air before we got on here about how collectively the internet loves Shin, but overall people are weird about Hera, going all the way back to the Rebels days when she was
just
first
a bit
as a cartoon. Okay. Now, just talking out my ass, but I told you the story of someone I used to work with that was really into hentai, which is tentacle porn. All right.
Yeah,
I don't get that. If y'all have your kinks and fetishes, that's whatever. Just keep it to yourself. But this ticks a lot of weird boxes for a lot of people because it's got tentacles, it's humanoid, and it's got features that
let's just
people
say
like.
They're called Leku.
It's curvy. I know that, bastard.
Right.
What I was getting ready to say is that speaking of the Leku,
let's fucking go, dude.
Is that the Leku doesn't have the proper markings on it. It's just a straight green tentacle.
Oh, that's true.
I do hope they fix that. I do hope they fix that. And it's funny because, and I'll shut up, but it's funny for as well as this character is done, they have been intentional on the marketing for it to a degree. The ass shots and the gratuitous chest shots are very odd. Why put that on there? Because people are asking for it. And I just think that shows you is that people know what this is about. And going back to that one, you can see that it's a different body type. It's got the wide hips and it looks really good. And objectively talking about the weird stuff you might be into with your figures and stuff, this is a really cool example of finally getting a lot of color pop on your shelf. I mean, if you look at your Star Wars shelf, it's whites and blacks mainly of kind of the color palette that represent what Star Wars is. Dark browns and things like that. And the ones that really stand out are like the blues from Cad Bane and things like that, or the greens from Boba, the reds from Darth Maul, the aliens. That's what's really cool. So now that we have this Ahsoka line, from the figures, from the characters aside, the colors you're going to be getting with Sabine and Hera and Chopper, it's really going to add a lot of depth, I think, to your shelves. And these are good characters overall, from Rebels to now. I know that they've dropped the ball on a couple different things, but Hera is a good character. Chopper is a great character. Sabine was a good character. So overall, I really do hope they keep going through it because I think they can just print money. I really do. Slap some Star Wars stuff, put some aliens on there and some colors. People eat them up. And I think that if you miss the boat on this, that's on you. So it looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks really good too, Kiko. But I mean, and and coming back to the idea too of the Ahsoka line, I mean, are you expecting before we get to Dean? Are you expecting to see like Thrawn, Balin, Shin, stuff like that? Do you think they're going to go like Mando deep with this?
See, that's the question. I don't know but you look at Flash and he was like, I didn't expect that. But then you look at the Obi-Wan series and you got 2 figures or 3 figures. You got Obi-Wan, Vader, and the Purge Trooper.
Yeah,
Whatever I call that. That's it.
And it's like basically 2.5 figures.
Yeah,
really.
and I would argue that the bench for the characters for that, and the Grand Inquisitor and Reva, so maybe like 5. So you should be able to at least get a couple more.
Right.
I hope so. I don't want, but even with season 3 of Mando, they only did the terrible Gideon and that shitty IG-12 accessory pack, and then like the what was
and they didn't even do another Mando or
Bo-Katan and the Crimson Guard.
Yeah, the Praetorian Guard. Yep, they didn't even do another Bo-Katan. They didn't do another Mando yet. It's just all been the Moff Gideon and the fucking Praetorian Guard. I mean, that's
I mean, might as well throw Lizzo in there at this point. So
yes,
maybe we'll get a
Lizzo and Jack Black 2-pack. That's what people need right there, dude. So Dean, what do you think about this, man? I know you love Ahsoka. You said it was a 10 out of 10, and like, what do you?
Oh no.
What do you think about this? What do you think about this Hera figure, and of course the commitment to the Ahsoka line?
Yeah, well, we've already seen more figures from Ahsoka than we did from Andor, so that's already a plus.
It's true. Factually,
yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that specific line, but dear Lord, yeah, I'm gonna kind of reflect what Kiko said. I think this is a great Hera figure. I don't think it's a very good Mary Elizabeth Winstead figure. That being said, and I said this about the Rosario Ahsoka, I don't really need those characters to like exactly resemble the actors because they started off in 3D to begin with. So to me, it's not a huge deal, but I can understand how it's a deal breaker for some people, right? Like that's what you pay for with these figures is the accuracy. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I kind of wish it was like real leather. I hope they do that. I don't know if it's
real embroidery though. Apparently that's a selling point.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I like the leather work, the bag with like the little tools in it. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I'm a sucker for bags with shit in them.
There's just a sucker in general with bags of shit, dude.
Yeah, like cool accessories, like the deluxe Mando with all the bags and shit.
Oh, yeah, with the bags and the Boba helmets.
Yeah, like it's so cool. And this little, I don't know what tool this
I guess
is.
it's like I call it a pilot thing. I don't
know.
I call it a rangefinder.
When did she use this?
It could be a rangefinder. Yeah.
I think it's when she's looking for Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's looking for Ahsoka. And then
I think you're right.
Her kid is like using the Force or whatever, and she's like, I'm gonna use this fucking machine. And that's what she does.
Yeah.
Mom, I hear them. Do you hear them?
Yeah, I mean, that being said, I think it's a cool accessory.
Yeah.
I mean, considering she doesn't really come with anything else, she doesn't really interact with a whole bunch of stuff in the show. So I think it's a cool inclusion.
Yeah.
But yeah, the colors pop, the outfit looks cool, the body almost reminds me of oh man, what is the name of those? In fact, I just bought one.
While he's thinking of that, who's going to actually display her turned around though? Come on.
Dude, look, man, you know my opinion on that, Kiko. Like, look, I try not to kink shame as much on my soapbox, but I don't like that side of collecting personally. It's just not what I'm here for. So I guess everyone's different in what they want to do and approach, but it's just
yeah.
Like it's
I'll wait
okay.
for the J&D Hera.
It's okay. Like to me, it's fine to like find a character or an actress attractive. Like there's nothing wrong with that. She's beautiful, appreciate it. But it's just when it gets into figure form and that's the reason you buy it, that's when I get a little weirded out by it. That's just me though.
Yeah. But again, like I said a second ago, accuracy is accuracy, but I'm not losing any sleep over it, you know. But the world box bodies with the white hips and I don't know if you've seen those. They're I just bought one for a custom figure I was doing, and it's really nice. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. Only they don't come in green, so I guess this is a new custom body. But yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I can't wait to own this figure. Hera is fantastic character on Rebels. I don't really know what they did with her in the Ahsoka show, but I can't wait to see more of the character in the future. I will say that. So. I
mean, I honestly think Dean the head sculpt is like a banger. Like I think this is a really good head sculpt.
It's a good head sculpt, but like I said, I don't see Mary Elizabeth Winstead in here.
Really, I
Exactly.
do, bro.
I
Maybe
do.
it's just
maybe like 10%.
maybe
like,
it's just the green that's covering it up. It's kind of like Gamora, right? But I still see Mary Elizabeth Winstead in here. And like it's the same, you know, and I said in my preview video, the bar is a little bit lower. It's like the same with like Night King or Pennywise, right? Like as long as it's pretty close, like it's a lot of makeup and Joker, like, you know, it's pretty close and you can recognize it. But I think honestly, there's a lot of life in these eyes. Like you can look at this detail here. I mean, that is like you can even see. What'd you say?
That one's got the lazy eye.
Well, no, I think she's just looking off in the distance. That's all. It's just a lazy eye.
One eye can't look in the distance.
She's got astigmatism on that one.
They don't have it straight. It's crooked.
Well, this is why, again, I've always said it's too much power to have separate moving sticks. So you got to have one stick that moves both eyes together. So then you know you don't give her a lazy eye. You don't want to do that. Yeah. But I will say, dude. Yeah, go ahead, Dean.
Oh, I was going to say, I do hope they go really deep in this line like they did with Mando.
Yeah.
You know, Shin, Balin scroll is a must. That dude,
I think Balin would sell
steals
big time.
every scene he's in is just like all about him. He's so good.
And now they're gonna have to recast him, unfortunately, which is going to be very difficult.
I miss the idea of it.
Well, because Ray Stevenson absolutely killed it, bro. Absolutely killed it. He was fantastic.
Yeah, you could tell that he really loved Star Wars. Like,
right.
What a novel concept for somebody that works in it.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, I see her too in the sculpt, but
we absolutely need to see a Thrawn. I mean, it'd be a fucking travesty if we don't see at least Thrawn.
I will riot if we don't get a Thrawn. I've been hyping that for years.
I think Thrawn is absolutely sealed and delivered. I think that one's good. Like I wouldn't even worry about that one. But Ahsoka the White also probably you can book that one. I think that would probably be better because maybe they can use a regular body and not have the seamless body, and just because she's covered with stuff. I mean, maybe I don't know, but anything that can fix that fucking arm breaking problem, anything that can fix that would be much better than what we got the first go round. But you're gonna see a lot of Mando Ahsokas listed for sale when the new one goes up for sure. Yeah. But I do think this could be a deep line. I mean, we got Chopper right now. I don't know if anyone really cares, but I do think that overall Thrawn will be a big mover for sure. I think Thrawn, if they somehow got Ray Stevenson's likeness rights, you know, maybe before he passed away, maybe they can talk to his estate or something. But if they do a Balin and a Shin, I think that would really sell. And I do think Thrawn would move pretty well too. So yeah, people have been wanting a Thrawn for pretty much forever. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, guys, let's move on to our next topic. Thank you so much for your thoughts on that one. We got another release that I want to talk about. That's one of the news things that we wanted to hit. The Iron Man Mark III, the 2.0 Iron Man from Hot Toys has been released. And I want to ask the question, is it the definitive Iron Man? Because there are, I think, collectors out there who view the Mark III as the definitive Iron Man suit. And that's it to me. I mean, I think this thing, I told Kiko before the show, Dean, I don't know if I've ever felt more temptation to buy a figure than this one. And this was always one that was on my radar. But the problem being, I don't have space, I don't think, for having 3 Iron Man figures because I have 1 Marvel Module case, right? So I have 2 Iron Man figures right now, the 7 and 85 battle damage. I'm not sure this one's going to fit in, but Kiko, for collectors looking for a first Iron Man or maybe just looking to expand their Iron Man collection, is this the definitive Iron Man? Because to me, this is the first Iron Man suit, but some people may differ. What do you think?
Well, it is the first Iron Man suit if you're talking about the red and gold being on your screen for the first time. I mean, think about how cool. I probably maybe once every other month go back and rewatch Iron Man, the original Iron Man. It's just, not only is it this, take the MCU away and you would have still had an incredible movie. Just Iron Man itself is fantastic. And it's contained, you know, you didn't need Iron Man 2, 3 and the Avengers. And I mean, obviously that came, but standalone movie. It's so good. Like when they do that fighter jet scene and he has to call up Rhodey and said, "Hey, it is me." No, it's me in a suit. That whole scene when he goes to the Middle East and does this moment where he goes and puts his suit in action. That is cool. And that is Iron Man. I mean, that's everything you need. But we have a lot of Iron Man that have not only in the pipeline still, but also have come out. I mean, we've gotten 85 marks essentially, plus battle damage versions and war machines and Listerine versions and neon techs and comic book versions. I don't know. Is it the best looking one to date? Probably. I think the battle damage is probably the best they've done so far. The base by far is the best base they've done. Got your Ironmonger in there. And the big complaint is that they shrunk the Tony head sculpt down to where it actually looks like a head that fits on there as opposed to a giant oversized head on an Iron Man figure. A lot of people didn't like that. Go back and look at a bunch of the original Iron Mans. The heads do not proportionally look like they fit on the body, but now they do. So the one strike I have against this, you asked me, am I getting this one? Because I have all the Iron Mans except for House Protocol. I have, which I don't need a purple Iron Man and things like that. But I have a Mark III. But that's the one, the die-cast one that comes with the ab crunch torso to where you can get in the pose. I don't know if you can put this in the official superhero landing pose without it looking weird. Can you do that? I don't know. But it looks good. I think the paint apps are incredible. If you want an Iron Man and don't have one, go for it. But if you already have 15 like me, I just hold off.
Well, it looks like you can.
Back to that.
Yeah. It looks like you can do it. So that's really good. Yeah, so that's
Intrigued.
really good. But I will say, it's, you know what's interesting, Kiko? I don't think I even noticed this until just now. Like the upper half is battle damage, but the other is not. I have to go back and look at the film and see if that's accurate.
I mean, that's the way all these have been engineered. All the battle damage pieces have always been just chest plates and face plates.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the 85 battle damage right now. Yeah, I got to look at it again. But yeah,
well, that's a battle damaged figure. That wasn't like battle damaged parts.
Right. And I see with these are swappable. Same with the Mark 7, it's swappable parts and so forth and all that good stuff. But I mean, this figure's, and I know with you, like you said, you don't have room for it, but this base is really good. This is a really cool, Ironmonger base. I think it's just fucking awesome. This is gonna be a figure that I probably like regret passing on. Like, look at that. This is just really cool with the battle damage and just a really cool suit. This is probably my second or third favorite suit. This is probably my second favorite suit, but the Mark 7, man, and the battle damage 85 is iconic, bro. It's iconic. So you need that one. But Dean, what do you think, bro? I mean, this Iron Man Mark 3, is this the definitive Iron Man for you?
It's pretty fucking close. I mean, the Mark 3 comes from a movie that kickstarted a whole, you can't say enough about the MCU. Yeah, generation of films. Thank you. Like, it's crazy. It's kind of like peak Iron Man, at the time. If you're gonna have one Iron Man in your collection, this is a pretty good one to have. And the first Mark III that came out is not a bad figure. That's still a really solid figure. And this is even better. I mean, when you look at them side by side, it's, kind of crazy. Like, God damn, like, I didn't think this one was not a good figure. And this one is still, a little bit better. But like Kiko said, if you already have a bunch of Iron Man, I don't know if it's worth going back and getting this one. But I mean, fuck, it's such a cool movie and like Kiko said, when he first puts it on and flies over to the Middle East and starts fucking people up, like, that's so cool. So
this is all yours.
Pretty solid figure. I know a lot of people were saying the head sculpt seems a little small, and when you look at it without the mask, but it is a dude in a giant tank essentially. Like, his head is going to look a little small. Like, it's not like the Iron Man suits of later dates where his technology's gotten better and it's a little more.
Yeah, this is an actual robot on him. It's not nano.
Yeah. So I don't really mind the whole smallish head look. But I think if you get this, you're not going to be disappointed. This is a solid figure.
It is, bro, 100%. And I kind of get the smaller head look. My brother actually mentioned to me he thought the head sculpt looked a little bit old, considering it was Iron Man 1 here that we're talking about.
That's true.
A little aged,
yeah, it does look a little bit aged. It almost looks like more like Endgame, he was saying. And I was like, I do kind of understand that sentiment. I do think that does make sense. But I'm looking at, I still think it looks like RDJ. I don't think they've perfectly nailed his head sculpt yet, but they've done pretty good job. I don't think they've absolutely missed besides the Tony Stank one, but I think this one is a really good one. And I think, man, this is like, put him in that pose. Damn, this figure looks great. This figure looks really good. And again, you mentioned the Kiko, the scene in the desert. That scene is one of the best Marvel scenes ever. It's of course one of the most iconic because it was really the one that I think kickstarted a lot of it. I mean, that is the scene in that film, I think. So
yeah, I mean, I go back to the original trailer where it shows all this, scenes, get blah 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 blah, but then it shows him land or whatever. The tank fires the missile, and there's no music, and then he aims, shoots the rocket, turns around, it explodes, and then the Iron Man from Ozzy hit. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, that was the coolest little way to do an introduction to a character. I mean,
right. And I mean, because you guys mentioned the original Mark III being a really good one, and it is, but I think this one just blows it out of the water. I always wanted a Mark III, but I was waiting for a remake, and they did it, and I still didn't get it because it's one of those, like I said, it's a matter of space. It's not a matter of want. But it's just, I don't want to give up the Mark 7. I've seen some comments in the chat about saying Mark 7 is their favorite. Mark 7's my favorite.
Yeah.
So, and I think Mark 7, I just love the look of the Dean, but I also love the nostalgic factor because Avengers 1 is kind of what made me a super fan. So,
yeah, because I used to own the Mark 6, which was a fucking crazy good figure, but it's got the triangle arc reactor, which is also iconic on its own right. But kind of like in my mind's eye, when I think of Iron Man, it's the circle.
Sure.
And the Mark 7 is such a good suit, also from a banger film, that was my Iron Man for a really long time. But my cap is the Civil War cap, and I really love the Mark 46.
46 is badass.
And I sold my Mark 7 to get a 46. I still have not yet gotten one. If anyone's out there who has a Mark 46 and wants to let it go, let me know, because I really need an Iron Man. I don't have an Iron Man now.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was
just going to say the biggest tragedy about this and why I think I don't want to upgrade is because it doesn't have the open faceplate option, because it doesn't like a helmet he puts on. It's the open faceplate, which I don't think they include on this.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because until he fights at the end where it's actually ripped off. He doesn't.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's true.
Inferior figure.
True, mid.
Well, if you have the original Mark III, you probably just pop that head on.
Well, it might be too big at this point, right?
Yeah, maybe. That's the question, because they're always sort of remodeled and revised just based on the new version. So, I mean, it definitely could be. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you planning to pick up this Iron Man? I mean, right now, we got a pretty good vote. 48 votes right now as Iron Man Mark III, the definitive Iron Man. 69%. Yeah, 69 is a good number. So, I think that's for sure going to win people over there on that one. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, dude, I'm 12 apparently, so it's all good. So, anyway, guys, let's move on to our next topic. Let's get to something maybe slightly spicy, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be mild. It's going to be mild spice, I think. I don't know, depending upon the panelists. I don't know. So, InArt's batch system. I want to talk about this. There's going to be some InArt topics on this show because I think, honestly, they're doing a lot of really great stuff. I know Kiko and I were a little bit maybe critical of them, I guess you could say, in terms of the early stages when they just weren't releasing shit. Like after the Joker came out, it had been a really long time and they hadn't really released much. And then since then, they technically released the Gandalf and the Pennywise release. I know a lot of people have gotten their Gandalfs now, decent amount at least. A lot of people still waiting. And that kind of leads into what this topic is really about, because I want to bring up the idea of the batch system, right? Maybe the alternative is waiting and just releasing it for everyone at once and just one big batch. But I know they've kind of, like John told us, Kiko, they get the first batch out, see if there's any issues, if they need to make corrections for future batches, then they release other batches and so forth. But I wonder if maybe InArt and everyone involved has underestimated the demand for these figures, because I think there's a lot of people, and I know Kit has been dealing with this because he's posted about it in his group and other sellers too, like in terms of the volume of messages that they're getting about where's my InArt figure. Right. So, and I think that's something that is probably exacerbated because of the batch system. So, Kiko, I got to ask you the question. Is the batch system that InArt's doing, is it a problem? Because 1/6 collectors, we're not the most patient group. And people are waiting a decently long time for these figures. Do you think this is going to be a long-term issue?
To me, I think this could be the death nail for them. Specifically because, as you said, we are an impatient group of people. And Jimmy in the comments says, why would it be a problem? Well, it's a problem because people want their stuff. And I know there's some people that's like, well, when it comes, it comes. That's fine. But we have plenty of people that get them. And then you have people looking around saying, where is mine? If they reiterate and they say, okay, if you put your pre-order in here, you will be a part of this batch. Cool. That makes a little bit sense. But like, okay, I'm just going to say it. So I have no ties to anybody. I'm not an influencer. No one sends me anything. I don't get review samples, all that stuff. So I'm not part of the in crowd. Okay. So when I see the in crowd get stuff before me, yeah, that rubs me a little bit the wrong way, because I understand that some people are like, well, we need to be able to get that out to them so they can tell us their biased opinion about it, because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So it does make me mad when I'm looking around like, well, where's mine? Like, why, just because you have a channel and things like that? I'm not saying you will, but
no, but hey, dude, I appreciate it's fair criticism. I appreciate it.
But why do you,
upset.
because you have a channel and you get to talk to people, that you get yours first when I want it, when I paid for mine first and everything? I'm paying in full. You know, some of these reviewers get them at discounts and such. So they're getting it first, paying less. And like, well, you don't understand. Well, I do understand, because I would love to have that opportunity. And everyone's like, that just comes from a place of jealousy. If you would kill to be in these positions that other people are. Actually, no, I wouldn't.
I don't think you are, because you are in this position. I mean, you could be if you wanted to, because
because I don't want to be tied to anybody.
Yeah, right. But you have a popular channel, you have influence. So,
I don't want to be owned by anybody. I hate
owned by anyone.
But that's the issue, is that we've only had 1.5 releases. All right. Would you consider Gandalf to be a half release at this point?
I would say so. Yeah. And Pennywise, not even really, because hardly anyone has him. Yeah.
Okay. So 1.5 releases. So the only one I can go off of is Joker. So when everyone's looking and they're like, hey, I got mine. Well, where'd you get yours from? Well, when did you pay? When did you pre-order? And you just have to go back and forth. And it's like it's the unsung like thing that people don't want to talk about, but there are backroom deals to where people get things before if they do certain things. And that's just not the way I roll. And so, yeah, I'm sitting there pissed because I want mine. You know, that's the way I would. And people get mad when I do that voice for some reason. They're like, you're making fun of people.
Whiny voice.
That's my whiny voice, because I'm whining. I'm whining about myself. I'm the whiner. I can do that. That's my voice. I'm upset. But the batch system needs to be clarified. Going back to all this, you have to clarify it. If you say, okay, you pre-order day one, first batch, cool.
Right.
But it's like I don't get it. When am it coming? And then just this, like, how many are coming? We don't know. We'll see. What does that mean? Like, you give people hope, because people get hype when they see them, and then they'll be like, well, I thought you said you're getting more. Well, we only got 3. Well, who decided, that those 3 people got them? And I just don't like that, and that can get real messy.
Yeah, and I do understand that. And I think it just becomes a matter of, like, again, there's a lot of demand for these figures and there's a lot of hype surrounding them. And I think probably even more so than people anticipated, particularly when, again, you're getting reviewers like myself who are getting them early, and then you're reviewing them. And then whether you like my futzing or not, you could look at it and say, this is really fucking good. And I could futz it.
Safel had the best remark. He said, the reason you don't get yours is because InArt has seen your reviews, and that's why.
I don't think so. So with mine, with mine, it was never, I don't even think it was a matter of, like, I never reached out to InArt and said, like, can I get an early review copy?
But he's saying, like, you saw my toy reviews.
Remember, yeah, like that was something with that I worked out with Kit, because I had an association with him. Like, that was something that it was not like, I don't even know if there's like an approval process. I don't know. Like, I'm not even sure, to be honest. But I get where you're saying, Kiko, about sort of like the influencers getting them first and all that. I do understand that argument. It's just, I don't know. That's the argument that's the position that they decided to take in terms of, sort of getting marketing out there first and then going with sort of the rest of the batches later after that. So I don't know, but I do understand the criticism of that. I think it's just a matter of, again, I guess just like a business decision. They view it as like, we're people who can help us market our product a little bit better. We're going to hook them up first. And I think that's really as complicated as it is. But, it's just, I don't think there's any more to it than that. But it's just, I don't know. I think the batch system, again, I don't know that there's a better way to do it. But I think, again, the poll results are showing me that I think it was literally 50-50 when I looked at it. Now it's 52-47. So the people are saying it's an issue. Because, again, I think 1/6 collectors, we are generally an impatient group. Like, we are, like, all of us. So we like stuff fast. Like, and honestly, Dean, you can give it, not just InArt, the cloud, right? I mean, Dean can speak to this about the cloud Advent Children. There's nothing Kit can do about it, right? It's not Kit's fault. It's not any of these sellers' faults. It's just how these companies do it. Like, Game Toys does batches too. So, Dean, can you speak to that? Maybe just the InArt and overall batch system. What's been your experience?
Yeah. So, the whole thing with if you pre-order day one sounds all well and good, except we're all ordering from different resellers.
Right.
So it's like, is every single reseller getting a batch equally as the one before them? Right. Like, is Kit getting
right? And who decides which resellers get them?
the other guy is also getting 50? Like, what's the deal? Is this guy getting 100 and Kid
Right.
only gets 10? Like,
Right.
there's really no real way of doing it. The batch system, I think, works better if you're impatient, because if everyone had to wait for every figure to be done, we'd still be waiting on the Joker. I think now we're kind of in the clear.
Gotcha.
Everyone's gotten their Joker, but that took fucking like a whole year for people to finally get their orders from the first person getting theirs. So it's like, do you want to wait until everybody gets theirs, or get your luck of the draw and get yours maybe a couple months early?
And that's the dilemma, right?
Yeah. Because I pre-ordered day one, like hour 2 of the cloud. I mean, Will, you messaged me at what, 4 a.m?
Probably, yeah.
And somehow I'm not in batch 1. I don't know.
Right.
But for me,
It's like the queue. No one knows how it works.
yeah. And Hot Toys does the same thing. They send batches to Sideshow. So, I mean, that's not like...
But they're not batches per se. Like when it releases, Hot Toys.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, Sideshow did used to do that. Remember, with like Captain America and stuff, they would send out a group of emails to people, and then, you know, and it wasn't even who ordered first. It was just like you were in batch 1 or 2 or whatever. And then Mando, remember, not Mando, the original Beskar Mando. It like took several batches. Might have been during COVID.
You are like Deadpool. The
Yeah.
first batch had that problem, and then they fixed it.
Yeah, but Cap
and
Endgame, that was the same thing. Cap Endgame, we were waiting for a long time.
But for me, it's like I already don't own the thing.
Right.
So whether it's a month or 2 later, I don't care. You know, like
Sure.
it's the sunk cost fallacy, right? I've already waited this long. What's another month?
What's another month exactly? I mean, it's funny, Dean, you know, when you tell people outside of collecting how long you wait for these things, they're like, what, 2 years? I'm like, some of them are 3 years. Like, it's, you know, it's a long time. It's a long wait for these things. These things take a while to make, but it's just, yeah. And you know, and I don't know. It's a tough thing, man. It's a tough thing. And I get, you know, and I get kind of the discussion too about sort of like, do YouTubers or whatever have the sort of, is that right that they would get things first before other people maybe who ordered before them and stuff? I think it's just an unfortunate reality of the situation, Kiko, that sometimes that just happens. Like people that have any sort of influence, even in a very niche community like ours, are probably going to get preferential treatment just because, look, I mean, they've worked hard to put in to work to their channel, and they have that type of influence where they do have an audience. And if that's the case, then those companies are not going to ignore that. They're going to go after that. Right.
Where the fuck is our InArt Gandalf? We're only responsible for the staff over at Collecting Weekly.
That's true.
Like,
you guys were responsible.
Why
for
the fuck did we not get one?
I don't know.
What
I
the
mean,
hell?
to me, I don't know, dude.
That's my question. Who
to be fair, we don't do reviews.
Yeah.
Right. That might be why, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not privy to that information. All I know really is that look, like I said, it wasn't. Oh, Dean just fucking left. It wasn't even a matter of like something where I was like, I'm going to negotiate with InArt. Like, but it is with these companies, whether it's resellers or whatever. Like you do, like as a YouTuber, like if you want early access and stuff, you have to ask generally. Like it's not something where you just, you know. And I think people also don't always realize too, like with YouTube, like how much, and you know, Kiko and Dean, you too with Collecting Weekly, with how much you guys do, like how much work really goes into it. I know some people won't consider this work, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Like it's an investment of time. So for people to get those sort of early perks or access or whatever, like it wasn't unearned. Like it was a matter of like, you really have to put in a lot of work to make this work. And some people might think that sounds crazy because it's YouTube and collectibles, but like it's a lot of editing and a lot of like negotiations and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff that I guess people maybe don't want to do. And again, like that's why maybe you get the access because you've worked hard to earn that. So that's kind of how I view it. You know, I don't think it's a matter of unfair. I think it's just a matter of like, and again, if they took away early access from me, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. It's whatever. Like, I mean, you know, if they saw my review and were like, fuck Will, dude, like, then they, you know, then I'd be like, okay, I mean, that's fine.
But those samples are what, maybe 5% of the, what is that?
How did that even happen, dude?
What was that?
I don't know. It was a balloon.
What the fuck?
That was fucking weird.
That wasn't me. That was not me, bro.
I have no idea what just.
I don't know.
Like,
is that Pennywise?
Anyway, I was saying, but wouldn't you say that's like 5% of the entire inventory would be?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know because The only ones I've really seen have been, I guess, me and Justin and I don't know, like the like a lot of Asian collectors, like collectors
But
in the
either
unit.
way, I mean, that I'm fine with review samples for like 10, 15 people or whatever, but the majority of them, if you're still doing batches, that doesn't make sense. That's what we're talking about, though. You know, I don't care about the fuckers that get like to do the thing for like the first day one. That's fine.
Gotcha. Yeah,
But
that's
like
more
the general consumer still has to go through batches. And that's the issue.
Because I think the first, like, I guess first batch to me would really be like non-influencer batch. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like so like that. I think that just went out for Gandalf probably. I think like because I just saw people like shout out to Seller Toys. He's a YouTube channel too. Like he just got his Gandalf, took some fire pics. Like I think there's some collectors who are getting it now. So yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. So I think there's some really good ones out there, but it's just, yeah, I mean, with the batch system, dudes, it's just, yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, I don't know that there's a better way to do it though. That's why I think the question is so riveting. Cause it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Cause again, like Dean said, is it everyone waits like a year to get it or, you know, like after it should really be out for more people, but I also don't think that's going to happen moving forward. I think the Joker thing was an anomaly primarily, and I think people have the misconception because I think Todd took a different approach for shipping, not realizing once these collectors are a little bit different than statue collectors, and people went with the idea that Joker was delayed forever, but it really wasn't. There were everyone else had really had it. Todd was just shipping it a little bit more slowly to preserve costs, I assume.
And I get that, and I know some people think I'm a bastard right now, and I'm whatever. Don't give a fuck. But with that being said, is my thing with that is then tell us, okay, if you're in this window, you can expect this. It's like and I would pay like an extra, hey, for $10 extra, you can be in the first batch. How do you get into that select top tier? Give us that option. We talk about that rhodium level or whatever it's called with, you know, the Joaquin Joker that's coming out. People are willing to pay something for extra perks or whatever. If you want extra money, give us a perk that we can do something like that. That's what I really want.
Yeah, and like I guess the hard part would be like how many of those spots you have and how quickly they sell out and how many does each retailer get.
That's fine. You know, if you get 100 of them, first 100 people in, there you go. But to not even give it an option, just leave it up to chance is where people get pissed.
That would actually be cool though, because then it would be like a drop, sort of like the artisan. Some people wouldn't like it, but you don't, you know, if you don't want it first batch, you don't really care. Like then you know, but that'd be cool, like waking up at 3 a.m. just to do that.
I think we also have to consider that InArt is still, and just in terms of Six Gal, I know they've been around a while. They're still kind of new at this.
They're still in their infancy.
Hot Toys has been doing this for over a decade. Like they kind of have it down to a science. You know, they probably have more employees, I imagine. I don't know, actually.
Right.
But you know, as InArt releases more figures and gets better and kind of really figuring out what works and what doesn't for them, it might not be such a big deal, you know, further down the road. Because like we just said, even with Hot Toys, even a few years ago, it was still kind of an issue. So you know, we'll see how that goes. You know, credit to InArt, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. That's true. You are right, Dean, about that. I mean, honestly, though, I can say for the people who received Gandalf, they can attest to how good that figure is. And I can tell you for the people that are getting Pennywise, I can also restate the same thing. Like you're going to absolutely love it. Like and I was telling Kiko, honestly, what I think I'm going to do is move the Star Wars shelf down a little bit and move my movie shelf up because the InArt figures are so good combined with the other figures I have that I want them to be top shelf. Like they're just really good. And honestly, some of the other figures like Dean, like the Advent Children Cloud, the Game Toys, that figure is so good. I want it to be up higher. So it's stuff like that. And I think people, when you get these InArt figures in hand, you're going to see like how impressive they actually are. Yes, there's some flaws here and there, some things they can work on, whatever. But you know, I do think overall the quality and the likeness particularly is pretty remarkable. So I mean, I'm excited. And I think, again, that's why people are passionate about this, just because if there was no demand for InArt shit, then people wouldn't give a fuck about the batch system. But they do care because there is a lot of hype and a lot of demand. And when you see these videos, and that is maybe that tells you the strategy is working, right? Because you look at a YouTuber's video, a review or whatever, or other people who got the first batch, and everyone's like, where's mine? Where's mine? Because they're excited. They're excited to get it. Of course, you don't want them mad and impatient, but you do want people to get hype and it create anticipation, you know? So that's why the NFL is so great, Kiko. It's once a week, right? That's why like baseball is fun and everything, 100%. But baseball is like every day, and like it's just
162 games,
right? So
and
it's
then 82 games for hockey. So
right, so it's like with football, once a week, it's an event, bro. It's an event. Well, twice a week. We got 3 times a week with Thursday, Monday, and Sunday. But
Right,
still,
your
mostly
team plays once a week.
Your team plays once a week, like the Bengals. Joe Shiesty.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, exactly. He is back. Anyway, guys, let's keep the InArt discussion rolling. We want to get into another big picture topic. This is something that
piss off.
This is something that actually surprised me, Kiko. So, as of I think a day or two ago, InArt is actually appearing on Big Bad Toy Store, which is super interesting because Big Bad Toy Store is a U.S. retailer, distributor, whatever you want to call them. So, and you haven't really seen this on other sites besides Todd, but Todd doesn't really operate under those same bounds typically. So, but with Big Bad Toy Store, they generally do. So, this is something that I find very interesting. Again, that's why I put the banner in the title of this topic as I did, because Big Bad Toy Store is selling these figures, but the price, I don't know if people are looking at this, but for example, the InArt Superman was on 1/6 kit, and I think it still might be for $399 shipped, right? This on Big Bad Toy Store is $559 plus tax plus $4 shipping, right? So at that point, you're getting damn near close to $600. On again, a kit shipped $399. Pop culture somewhere around there, if not less, right? Big Bad's prices are a little bit high here. And same with this Joker. That Joker was like maybe $1,100 shipped, the $1,050 shipped. Now it's $1,489 plus $4 shipping and tax. So, Kiko, what can we take away from this? I mean, this is a very confusing development, I feel. What do you think about this?
I think they've lost their damn mind. And that everyone, if you're looking for an InArt figure, you've probably done your research and you know kind of what they cost and what goes into it. It would be different. For example, remember when the Ecto one went up on Big Bad, not the Afterlife, when they originally, hey, we found some more randomly, $3,000, and they priced it for $3,000 when that retails for $1,300.
Right.
And they just sat there, but they sold out, and cool. God bless you. So they're not strangers to boosting the prices, but if you've done your homework, you know that this is not what these go for. I mean, you can price the Ecto one for $3,000 because it's been sold out and there's only like 1,000 out there. It's been sold out for like 10 years. So cool, price that up. These are still fluttering into Spec Fiction and other places for literally $500-$600 less than that, and people are selling them on eBay even for fractions of that. So I don't know where their cost analysis comes from and who would pay that. Because I said, if you're paying that much for a figure, you've done research on it. You know exactly where they're from, you know all this stuff. So I don't know where that's come into. Like, well, $4 ship, that still does not cover it. And the $4 thing rarely like makes you come out ahead, you know, with everything based on some of the pricing. So even with $4 shipping, what the hell? I mean, that's a $200 swing, even with taxes and shipping. I mean,
well,
I don't know any way to make it.
Kiko, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but like, for example, I just want to address this comment, like Spec Fiction carries InArt, and they do. But I think the difference between Big Bad and Spec is that Big Bad carries a lot of sideshow shit, like Hot Toys and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like if sideshow,
the only way this price works for me is if it's like a first batch day one release. That's the only. That's the only way.
Which Big Bad is notoriously known for the opposite. Yeah. So that's, you know, but I will say, like, I don't know that this would be good, so to speak, for Big Bad, because if you're looking at sort of the legality of this, I mean, I don't think this is licensed in North America. So you know, and if they're selling sideshow products, then I'm like, is that good? Like, I don't. Like, that's why I'm a little bit shocked to see it. But maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn.
It
I don't
still
know.
says pre-order. I mean, that's my thing. You know,
so that's my thing. And if right. So yeah.
Well, I sent you a graphic that we posted on Collecting Weekly.
Oh yeah. Let me pull it up.
Because we also did some price comparisons and where the cheapest places to buy this figure were at. Pulp Culture, that figure is licensed in Australia. Yeah. If you have an account with them and you log in, you could get for $312 shipped.
Nice.
Sugo Toys 340, OSK 389 with any one of our codes, or without the code under 400. For BBTS to be charging, what was it, $550?
Yeah, $550, I think. Yeah,
fucking bananas.
$559,
$560.
$560. I don't know where they get off. We've seen them do this before with was the Green Goblin figure arts. It was like almost double retail, and people were like, what the fuck are you thinking? They're like, okay, fine, we'll lower it. And they lowered it, and people were like, you're still making like $100 off of this fucking thing. And then they lowered it again, and it was finally like, I think they lowered the price like 3 times, and it was finally like, you know, comparable to other places. But $560, that's almost, you could almost buy 2
Right.
from Pop Culture.
Yeah.
It's dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I know that BBTS usually adds a little because they have to offset the cost
That's
of the
more
shipping.
than a little, damn.
Yeah, that's way more than a little. Because then you're also going to pay tax on top of that. So
Yeah,
it's like,
you are.
who,
Depending upon your state, you are.
like Kiko said, a 6-scale collector, you've probably done all your research.
Right.
Unless
so
Mamaw, you asked Santa for that for Christmas, and Mamaw goes and like, oh, where can I?
Well, you
find
know
that
what Big
Superman?
Bad could be, because they know, and Dean, sorry to cut you off, but they are the last to get shit. You know what they could be? They could be for the collector who waits too long, doesn't pre-order this, it sells out everywhere else, and then they have to go to Big Bad and pay these prices.
You're not wrong.
That might be their thought process. They might be like, well, we're fucking last anyway. Like, we're just wait.
They did do that with the Rogue One Hot Toys Vader.
Okay. And they did it like Kiko said with the Ecto. So, and they're great. Honestly, look, I'm not here to shit on Big Bad. I've ordered shit from them before.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
fucking
I
awesome.
love Big Bad Toys.
Their customer service is great. Like,
you got to call it out when you see it.
Right.
But also, you know, and I've brought this up before, you know, sometimes you don't want to risk buying from some random seller. A lot of people don't know who Sugatoy is, but somebody might not know who Pulp Culture is. It's not comfortable ordering from those places, which you should be. They're very reputable places.
Right.
But we saw people get burned with Joker. They ordered from some seller, and then that seller disappeared and absconded with not only their money, but now they're out of figure and they got to pay
bank heist.
Yeah. And so it's like, hey, this is a little added insurance. I know BBTS is going to get it. Well, you know, even they might not, but they'll probably refund your money at the very least, right?
Yeah, BBTS is reliable for sure.
But still, like $560. That's
and it's crazy they still have the Joker on pre-order. Isn't that pretty much out everywhere at this point? I mean, I know Josh, I think, even has some Comic Concepts. He did.
And like $14.89. That's like
that's like $300 more than it should be. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Fine.
Well, maybe it's because it's sold out and they're just like, well, we're going to upcharge it. Maybe it's that. But again, Superman's not, and they're technically pre-orders. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm just surprised to see them on a US site like that. I know Spec is US. I get that, but Spec is different. So they're a little bit different in how they kind of approach things. So great job though. Spec's great too. I mean, I will say great. Like, you're good hands no matter which route you go. But you know, it's you know, I think, you know, I've noticed that too. I noticed that was one of the things, the more popular posts I made when I partnered with 1/6 Kit, and everyone was like, this is great. Like, you know, the Kit's great. Like, I love Kit. So he's been really good to me, and I cannot say enough good things about him. So, and he's done a good job.
I want to address this comment from Connor.
Yeah.
Connor, he says Pop Culture has Superman for $559.99 as well. A couple things. One, make sure you have USD selected.
Right.
And if it's still really high, it is because you have to compare the US dollar strength to the Australian dollar at the current time. So the price will fluctuate day to day. I think when we did our 312, that was only like 5 days ago. So I don't feel like it should have gone that high again, but you never know. But
and with Kit, I think the pre-order is still up with Kit. I'm not sure. I gotta check, but I think it still is. So, and you can still use the code. You can use my code, Collecting Weekly's code, whatever code you want. It's $10. I mean, you know, use it. It's a great discount. And yeah, I will say use my Levi code though, because Kiko loves Levi. So yeah, he's all about that Levi. I sent Kiko some Levi clips. Dean, do you watch anime?
Bro, I do not watch Attack on Titan. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
But I watched your video on that figure. That thing looks amazing.
It does, bro. Kiko gave no fucks whatsoever. Like, I was so heartbroken, dude.
Okay, Connor was on Australian dollars. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I sent Kiko some videos. He was like, dude, no. I was like,
you don't like it?
I don't do anime.
doesn't like
Pokemon
anime,
is the
yeah.
only thing I ever did, and then the South Park anime episodes. I just can't
Fair
get into
enough.
anime.
Yeah, anime figures are really weird, especially in 6 scale. I don't feel like they translate too well.
Right.
In 12 scale, I don't mind it. It's weird how that works, but I will say that I don't like Attack on Titan, but that figure looks incredible.
Right.
How much is it, by the way?
220, but then with my code it's like 219, something like
God
that.
damn, that's crazy.
Shipped though. Shipped.
That's
yeah.
Yeah. Objectively, that's a great looking figure.
It is, bro. It is 100%. And that, Dean, you are the perfect segue, bro. You are a true fucking consummate professional because we got to ask the people, bro. What should collectors know about collecting third-party figures? It's not just specific to Levi. We're going to talk about Cloud too, because Dean's going to get his Cloud. He's going to fucking love it. Dean, that Cloud is incredible, bro. The original Cloud is amazing. This one is better in every way. Everywhere.
Wow, that's high praise.
It's dude. The bike to Fenrir is dope, dude. I bought an acrylic case just for it. And guys, I am gonna do a new collection tour. I'm hoping next week sometime. So I'm gonna film another one, and I'm gonna have Fenrir showing off. Dean, I got Cloud. Like that Cloud is fucking dope, dude. It's like amazing. It might be my figure of the year, which is crazy. Like
that's yeah.
Yeah, it's
no contest for me. That's gonna
well, I got Pennywise and Gandalf right in there with Carnage too, which we will talk about that topic too. But so I'm going to bring up a photo real quick just of Levi, and I'll bring up some other third-party figures. Guys, if there's a third-party figure that you love, drop it in the comments below. Let us know your favorite third-party figure. Let us know your overall philosophy. Kiko, I got to ask you the question though. What should collectors really know about collecting third-party figures? Because I mean, I know you do have some experience in this realm, and I wanted to show people this video.
This is you damn bastard.
This is Kiko's not only review, and it's the best review on YouTube.
And y'all wonder why I have no traction on my social media.
I have no idea why this didn't take off. Yeah, so Kiko, what should collectors know about third-party figures? Because you do have a decent amount.
I do. And going back to my latest video, you'll find them ending up on your 10 worst figures list more often than not. Because there's a few things to keep into consideration. The pluses is that you get some really sweet off-brand names such as Boss Man and Green Menace and things like that, and Raven Blade. I'm looking at Raven Blade right now. But in all seriousness, I think outside of present toys and maybe a couple other ones, most are going to be far, far inferior to a standard release.
Sure.
So you're going to know that because everything's unlicensed, everything is technically not even legal to make, but they are just putting stuff out there for people to consume. So you're going to have some shoddy craftsmanship, some real cheap parts, and real suspect paint apps, because that's the reason that they're cheap, is because they're not high quality. But they will fill some very nice holes in your collection, because you're looking at right now a member of the Black Order that Hot Toys did not touch. You have Thanos and not a single one of his children. But a lot of third-party figures are like, okay, let's do this ourselves. You get Raven Blade and Space Wizard and Shadow Void and Dark Star to make up your Infinity Squad. So the thing with it is that knowing that you're not going to be getting great quality, it's just the way it is. Most likely, it'll be something that you're not going to probably keep in your collection if it is the unauthorized version of one, because such as the 2 Dr. Octopuses, one from Toys Era, one from Hot Toys. I just did a review. I just did a comparison between the two of them, looking at the different head sculpts. And the Toys Era one is leaving my collection because the quality of the Hot Toys one is far superior. Everyone's like, I don't like that head sculpt, though. Well, I still think the head sculpt's still light years better than the Toys Era one. It's not be the expression you want, but the paint apps and overall the arms, the tentacles, the tailoring, exceptional for a licensed figure. So that's the thing I would say, is that use them to fill some holes. Be willing to get rid of them moving forward if you're not really into them. But I cannot speak to anything when it comes to a third-party figures with this, because I don't do anime. So I will step off my soapbox and I'll let Dean and other people talk about their third-party stuff.
You know what's crazy though, Kiko? And we had an excellent comment, and while it came up, I went and looked. And I got to bring it up. I'll find it. But essentially, I was just looking at this, Kiko. So since we just talked about this, that Joker is now sold out. Like
That's
Dude.
impossible.
Dude, literally, I had it pulled up just seconds ago. I refreshed it. That Joker is sold out.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, so we owe Big
There's
Bad a
no
fucking
way.
apology. Like, dude, like, we
Unless
brought it up.
there's one of them and they just sold them.
Maybe someone
This is
bought
a
it.
tactic. No, it's a tactic. It was like, oh no, I gotta move.
Or
Tactic's
someone's
not
watching
real.
the stream and like, fucking take that shit down. Take that shit down right now.
Yeah,
Like,
make
I
it look like
guess.
people are buying it.
I think someone bought it. So whoever bought it,
No
thank you so
way.
much for watching and congratulations on your Joker. But I guess people were looking for it. I don't know. So anyway, I gotta get back to the main topic. But I thought that was really cool. So thank you for that comment. Oh yeah, there it is. It was Connor. So thank you so much, Connor. He said Will is sold out since Will showed it 30 seconds ago. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That's pretty wild. So but Dean, I gotta get to you, man. I gotta bring up the Cloud because I know you have the original Cloud, the Final Fantasy VII remake version, and you know, you have some third-party figures, I'm sure, that are not quite as great. Game Toys is like the gold standard, though. I mean, that's like, oh, Dean, bro, take those jointed arms off him, bro. I think you're muted, Dean. Hold on. There you go.
I'm not taking the jointed
Bro,
arms off.
like,
I've
do
seen
my
so
man
many
justice.
people-
Put the right arms on him.
I've seen so many people with them torn already. I'm like, no.
Dude,
I'm
you're not
keeping
going
the
to tear him.
jointed
Just put him
ones
in
on.
like a basic pose. He'll be all right.
That's what I'm worried about this Cloud figure for. It just doesn't have swap out arms.
No, because the whole seamless body. That's why. Yeah.
That's going to be a problem down the road, I think.
Or we'll see. But Dean, what's your overall philosophy on third party, man?
You know, if you go in with an open mind, you could be surprised. I think what Kiko said is pretty true down, you know, straight down the board. Paint apps usually aren't as good. Outfits are usually a little spottier. I feel like most of the time you get more accessories, which is kind of nice. But when you look at something like, I want to say it's the Toys era Joel from The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
That figure has like real wooden stock on the gun.
Yep.
Die-cast weapons, real leather like tool pouches or whatever. It was like, for a third-party figure at a crazy price point, I want to say it was sub 200 or maybe sub 250. It was like the bang for the buck was crazy good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sometimes, you know, if you risk it for the biscuit, you could be really surprised at how good third-party figures can be.
It's funny you say risk it though, because sometimes they'll be like, here's a pre-order for this figure. And then I think someone else mentioned it in the comments. If they get a licensor thrown at it, they could completely scrap that figure, or it goes under because they get sued or whatever. So you do run that risk as well.
Yeah. No, 100%. He's not wrong.
Well, Dean, and excellent point, because Game Toys, no one knew shit about them when they put up that Sephiroth, but I really wanted a Sephiroth, so I took the risk, and it turned out great.
So I went the other way. I pre-ordered the VTS Cloud.
Right.
And because VTS is a pretty well-known brand, I would say, and they have released really solid figures. They did the Ghost of Tsushima figure that is now like going for stupid, crazy money.
Right.
They've done a bunch of other movie figures that ended up being pretty good. They did the Starship Trooper ones. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna take a risk on VTS. It looks pretty good, you know, from the prototypes. What we got, not very good at all. Like, just to have it on the shelf, like, I probably would have bought it anyway. But if I had known what VTS was serving up instead of Game Toys, I would have gone Game Toys. But it's, you run the gambit on what you really get, because like we were just talking about, we got the Game Toys Cloud, which is ripped straight from the screen. It's crazy how beautiful this figure is. And then you have figures like this. I don't know if you've seen this. This is the
Barrett,
the Barrett, and it's not very good at all.
Right.
I will say
it's
passable. It's supposed to be Barrett.
Is that another anime or a game?
It's a video game.
It's Cloud's friends. Yeah. I will say the materials are very nice. This is like a suede, like a real suede, which is crazy.
Ooh.
The pants are well tailored. It's just like on a generic body, and it's like Barrett is supposed to be very big and kind of, he is very intimidating, and like this figure just doesn't do it.
I think Toys R Us is going to make him, but I don't know.
I hope so, because this, and like I said, like look at the accessories, like they look really well done.
Right.
The tailoring, again, good. The boots, they're very simple. But yeah, it's just kind of like they missed the mark a little bit. But I'm also not spending $300 on it.
Right.
So you can, like I said, you risk it for the biscuit. Like it's
but with Cloud, bro,
risk,
Game Toys had a reputation, Dean, but that Game Toys Cloud with the bike was like what, $650? Like he wasn't cheap. So yeah.
But that was like something it's not like Game Toys only had one good release.
No, all of them.
All of them. Both Zax, Cloud, Sephiroth, insane levels of good. Perfection, I would dare say.
Right.
So it was like, $650 for Cloud and Fenrir. It's a no-brainer. It's kind of like how people feel in art. Like I've seen what they're not only showing us what they could do, but delivering on what they can do. I have no problem pre-ordering the next thing.
Right.
That's how I felt about Game Toys. So yeah, I cannot wait to get mine.
And let's not forget about this boy too. I mean, this is Mars Toys, and this was a very popular figure from, I think this year. It came out this year, right? This year or late last year. I don't remember.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think you're right, Kiko. And I know Dean was saying he absolutely loved it. He saw a picture of it at least.
I mean, look, $400 aftermarket.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
On a figure that costs what?
It was probably like 150 or
180?
200. Right. Yeah.
I saw it on eBay for 200.
Yeah, right. It's pretty crazy. So I'm excited. I mean, to see what these third-party companies. I thought, I think they have stepped up. I mean, I've seen these, like you said, Dean, with the Toys R Us showing like the die-cast gun and the wood barrel and stuff like that. And you're seeing movable wise, like Lim Toys does really good work. They just take fucking forever, but Lim Toys does an amazing job. Arthur Morgan, they announced the Nathan Drake. Lim Toys, I'm reviewing the 12th scale Joel and Ellie. They're great. I can't wait for their 6th scale versions.
Oh yeah, everyone says those are like really strong.
They are, man. I unboxed them briefly and I've been filming it, but I got to film the rest of the review, but I'm working on it and I should have it out maybe this weekend or next week. But that's my next review. So I'm working on that. But yeah, third-party figures are great, man. This Cloud, I already got my review out for that. So check out that, guys. That was great. That was fun to review. And it's just such a good figure. It's so good. It might be, we're going to talk about it, but I'm really excited about these third-party companies and they've stepped their game up. They're evolving and they are adapting just like I hope they would. And they are. So Batman Collectibles, thank you so much, bro. 999 super chat. Thank you so much for the generous super chat there. I have the Eternal Toys Penguin that just released. Does it have some issues? Of course. It is not complete trash like people have made it out to be. It's a great piece for what it is. Thank you so much, bro. I will see that Mars Toys is making one. Mars Toys announced they're making one. So Kiko, I don't know. Were you raising your hand? I couldn't tell.
I wasn't raising my hand, but I was saying I agree with Batman Collectibles.
Okay.
It does look good. And depending on Mars is still in the early testing stages of getting that body and such. So if you're looking for a good stand-in penguin, I think this one is exceptional.
I thought you wanted to speak to the class. So you were raising your hand, so I wasn't sure.
Did I even raise my hand? I don't know.
You went like I could see it on
scratch. Oh, I was scratching my arm.
Okay. That's why, bro. I was like, what? Kiko's wants the attention of the class. So that's what I thought it was. So anyway, guys, thank you so much, Batman Collectibles, for the generous super chat, bro. But yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. That's it, guys. Let's talk about we got time, another half an hour. So I think we got some topics to hit here. That said, I want to talk about contenders thus far for figure of the year 2023, because Kiko, dude, we are in Q4 now. Because we got October, November, and December. We are in the last quarter of the year. This is the fourth quarter, baby, of 2023. And Joe Shiesty going to bring home the championship in the fourth quarter like he always does.
Absolutely.
So, and Dean's like, no, he's fucking not. But I think, I think overall, there's a lot of good figures that have been released this year. A lot of bangers. I sent Dean the document that I always come up with. I need to create like a graph for you guys or something. Let me know what you want to see. But again, I always keep track of all this. I keep track of all the releases from Hot Toys specifically for the year. And I keep track of all the announcements. And I keep track of, and it looks like probably Dean's in here right now. But it's one of those where, I keep track of all the Hot Toys releases and announcements in the given year. And I'll do that again. I'm probably going to do that for InArt, but it's so mild right now that it's just like 2-3 things. But I can't keep track of everything third party. That would just take me forever. But we can expand this to not just Hot Toys, but every 1/6 scale figure you can think of. Kiko, so far entering Q4, what are those contenders for figure of the year thus far?
I'm looking at my little list of the things that I've gotten, and it's funny because going back to the InArt, everyone thinks I'm always just shitting on them. Who knows whether you're supposed to classify releases for InArt? Because you never know when it's released because you can't make an official decision for figure of the year if you don't have it, but it could take 8 years to get it to you. And before Daniel gets mad, he's like, people don't understand it. It takes from concept to announcement to release. That's only 15 months. That's great. It's the batch system and people having it and other people not. That's my thing. Anyway, so go ahead and pull up Carnage because I really think that out the gate is a hardcore contender for figure of the year just because of its size, its uniqueness, its display ability. The stuff that comes with Carnage is up there. Cad Bane is up there. I just think he comes with so much good stuff. I'm just looking through my list here. People may not like this or whatever, but I think Crosshair might even be on there as well. I've really liked. I love all the Bad Batch figures. I don't think anyone cared about the DX25. That was terrible. No one's excited about the Amazing Spider-Man, that being the Andrew one. No. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that like really jumped out. But probably for me, the top three is probably Carnage, Cad Bane, and Moon Knight are probably the top three contenders that has been released thus far. Now, my Joker came this calendar year from InArt, but I wouldn't put that as figure of the year for me because I still think these are better figures potentially than the InArt Joker. And plus, maybe that's considered a last year release. So for me, that's my top three. I don't know where it will end. Because we still have.
Did you ever receive? Well, you're not getting Gandalf, right? You're not
Correct.
getting Gandalf. Right. Yeah. Those are pretty fun. Dude, I honestly forgot about Cad Bane somehow. He's absolutely in the running.
Yeah. I mean, from the three, it's the three face plates. If you got Toto with the deluxe, I mean, he really is up there. I mean, he might be it for me. I mean, I don't know.
Kiko, I got to ask you though, before we get to Dean, because this is an important question here. Are we sleeping on this boy?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He's not in the top 3 to 4 anymore.
No, because when you think about figure of the year, it has to be. There can't be misses with it. And for me, his arms and his gauntlets and hands are so hard to put in. Like for the best figure put out there, needs to be the best figure. And I can't put the hands on him. The hands are so hard. Do you have this one, Will? I don't think you do.
I don't know, but I probably fucking want to break it if the hands are that difficult.
It is. You have to do some fuckery to get the oh, that looks terrible, doesn't it?
Someone clip that one out.
Yeah, to get the gauntlets to move up the arm to get the hands in. Everyone told me, well, you got to do this, you got to heat this. I don't want to have to heat hands up every time if I want to change these things out. And so the hands are a bitch to get on because of the gauntlets. That's my big issue with him. And because of that dropped him below Cad Bane because I think Cad Bane is fantastic. He comes with so much stuff. 1A, 1B right now for Carnage and Cad Bane for me.
Yeah, Carnage is really good, bro. As is Cad Bane. They're absolutely amazing figures that I love. So, Dean, bro, thus far, 2023, the first 3 quarters, what are those contenders right now for figure of the year for you?
Not Cad Bane.
Dean fucking hates Cad Bane.
I do. No, objectively, Cad Bane is a very, very well-made figure. I could see why people love it. I'm kind of thinking Venom and Carnage are high up there. I mean, really, really strong contenders. Sam Wilson, Captain America, that figure turned out to be awesome.
But for that one, I thought about that one, but the wings are cool. That doesn't make him the best figure because if you take the wings away from him and just put on his little jetpack,
or whatever,
the wings away from him. Colorful and displays well.
But the wings are a key part of his character. You need those. Yeah.
But even without the wings, like I said, he pops on the shelf. I think he's fantastic.
He does. He's very poppy for sure.
Yeah, nobody listen to Kiko.
No one does anyway.
Yeah, it's true. No one fucking listens.
And then you have figures like the clone troopers on the Bark Speeder. I mean, presentation alone is insane on this Bark Speeder. It's crazy. And then you got figures like the Game Toys Cloud. I mean, I don't know how you compete with that. It's look at that, dude.
Shameless plug, but my own review. I can just tell you, like having this boy, like,
are you in the review, Will? You need to be showing your face.
I know there's not enough Will.
90% needs to be. Oh, and I got something to say at the end of the stream when I'm pumping my channel or whatever about somebody said it's funny.
Nice, dude. It's gonna be a fucking blast. But yeah, dude, Dean, I think this figure is. So, but the Bark Speeder one, that's an interesting choice. Actually, I find that interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's really expensive, and I honestly don't know if it's worth the price tag. I got a pretty sick ass deal on just the Bark Speeder, so I fucking love it. But I can see how people like don't have that or wouldn't consider it. But like I said, you got figures like the Game Toys Cloud, and it's like, are we only talking like 6 scale? Because
6 scale, yeah,
because there's, I mean, I buy all kinds of scales, and I got a whole bunch of figures I would consider. Bang for the buck. I don't know if you guys know about Sonic the Hedgehog, but this is only $15 and it's fucking awesome.
Is it 6 scale?
I technically it would be because Sonic's only like 3 feet tall.
Yeah. That might be.
If you haven't watched Sonic Prime, if you're a Sonic fan, it's on Netflix, 2 seasons, 3rd season's coming out. Banger. But yeah, like I mean, there's all kinds of figures that I could literally just go on and on and on. Darth Malik in the Black Series, awesome figure.
Right.
But yeah, specifically 6 scale, there's a bunch. Did the gold armor Hot Toys Wonder Woman come out this year, or was that last year?
I think it was this year. Dean, that can't be it though. The hair is all fucky. Like you can't
yeah, it's not great.
like
but it's the head on the shelf though. I mean, it's a pretty.
If you put the helmet on, yeah. But I've not
go.
had it in person. Some people say it's a lot better in person. I don't know. But when you look at sort of the hair that InArt's been doing and now these new artisan figures, like the artisan Wonder Woman was really good too. Not artisan, but WB 100. Sorry. Let me correct myself.
You know what else was good that I forgot about? That if it was USB powered would be perfect and not batteries. I really liked Infinity Ultron. He's big.
Yeah, that's a really good.
Really cool. I liked him. I really do.
Yeah.
What if Ultron? That one?
Yeah, the Infinity Ultron. What if? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shit. What was I gonna say? What was I looking at?
I don't know. I will say, Dean. I'm about to. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I know it's technically a reissue, so it'd be kind of a shame if it got figure of the year. But RoboCop, that figure came out.
Justin was telling me how good it is. Yeah.
I love RoboCop.
Yeah. RoboCop's a good one. Well, I'm gonna drop the actual answers on you bitches because look, it's Carnage. It's Carnage for sure. He's up there. Carnage is in the conversation, right? I'm with Kiko and Cad Bane. I honestly forgot about Cad Bane, but he's in there for sure. Cad Bane is absolutely in the running. I will say though, people are sleeping on this boy here. And it's InArt Pennywise. I mean, this InArt Pennywise is really fucking good. If you like Pennywise. If you don't like Pennywise, I get it. I understand why you wouldn't like this figure. It's not going to be for everyone. However, the quality of the figure itself is undeniable. It's fantastic. It delivered me pretty much everything I wanted from a Pennywise
bring him to Tennessee, Will, so I can see him?
Dude, if I can get it on the fucking flight, maybe I could. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I should.
Bring all your InArt toys and let me see.
I'll bring all the InArt figures. Exactly. Yeah. They'll probably get through security and be like, we're confiscating these for security reasons.
That would be your luck.
Dude, it would be. And this Gandalf is fucking phenomenal, dude. Everyone who's gotten this Gandalf knows this thing is incredible. Personally, this is the best 1/6 head sculpt I've ever seen from a figure like this that's mass produced, I guess you could call it. I think this Gandalf, I took it out of the box and I was like, dude, this thing is incredible. This head sculpt is really, really good. It's just really good. So, and you know, I know not everyone cares much about some of these, but Cloud, again, shameless plug on my review, but essentially this Cloud is really good. This Cloud, Dean, is very, very good. This is one of the best figures I've ever owned personally. Just every Game Toys figure I get, Dean, I'm like, this figure is amazing. And it's like one of the best figures I own.
What are you doing with the arm over there?
Dude, people don't like my futzing. I'll adjust it, dude. You can adjust it to your liking.
It doesn't do that. It doesn't
what do you mean?
It doesn't go perpendicular to the bike. It opens out.
Dude, it looks fine to me. Like it looks he's fucking.
Well, he couldn't reach his swords if they were up there. He's driving.
What sword? Well, he's not going for the bike, dude. He's just fucking hanging. He's chilling.
He's going for aesthetic, not practicality.
No, I'm talking about the thing on the bike.
Oh, I think you're talking about his arm, his actual arm.
No, the arm on the bike.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
have
just
it
up.
going
Yeah,
up. It doesn't
yeah, it's
do
just up.
that.
Because I was just flipping it out. No, but see, you look. The sword holders are right there. The sword holders are right, like by the side. You see it?
Yeah, but they go. You want me to grab my my player at Sky and show you how it looks?
Yeah, if you want to. But like, I
No.
think overall, dude, he's gonna fucking pull the sword out of the thing. I mean, so
Yeah, but he's way back here driving it. So how could he reach the swords when they're up there? If they open
he's gonna
out?
spin around. He's gonna jump around.
Let me grab mine. I'll show you what it looks like.
Yeah, but I think this figure is fucking phenomenal, dude. It's so good. It's a skirt. And Sable said, "Why is the dude wearing a dress?" It's a skirt, dude. It's a man skirt. That's what it is. And
It's a
pretty
kilt,
badass.
right?
It's a kilt. Yeah, sure. I don't know.
It's
It's one of those
Scottish.
things. The shoulder pad is a bitch, though. Yeah, shoulder pad is a bitch. I 100% agree with that one. But the Falcon Captain America is really good. Gandalf is great. Pennywise is great. We got some bangers. Moon Knight Kiko. I don't have Moon Knight. I can't say, but I can just tell you from what you've told me that if the arms and hands are that difficult, then fuck my life. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
so.
you can play with my Moon Knight when you get here and just be enraged by like, why did you get this out of the cabinet? I can't put it back. How are you gonna? You got to figure out how bad it really is.
Right. All right, show me, Dean.
Sorry, it's dusty, but see how
dude, fucking dust your shit, dude. Like, oh,
canned air goes a long way.
Yeah, dude, that's how mine looks.
Opens out, not up.
That's how mine look, dude. No, because you can do it. I put it up just for like I don't know why I did it, but I just did it for the content.
You're wrong.
I should have. Does I need to consult Dean before I post this shit? Yeah. So yeah, exactly, bro. But yeah, Dean, dude, the Play Arts Kai versions, they're not as good, man. They're not as good. So, but they're still
yeah,
cool.
but I've had mine for like 4 years already.
That's true. That's true. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for your thoughts on that one. We got, I think, time probably for one more topic for this evening. That said, I want to bring up this topic again. A little bit of spice, but I think this is going to be good. Kiko, dude, Hot Toys, right? I want to ask the question. Because I ran a poll the other day, and I need to bring this up while I'm talking, but essentially I forgot to bring this up ahead of time. But like, is Hot Toys really still winning because of the licenses that they have? Because for the longest time, Hot Toys has been the king, bro. They've been the king of the mountain. We've said no one can top their quality in terms of license. Custom pieces, sure. Limited, expensive shit, sure. But those license pieces, Hot Toys has been the king of the mountain, and they really still are. But I'm wondering, is the primary reason for that the licenses? Because I asked the question, are you more excited for InArt or Hot Toys? I think the poll was like 60% Hot Toys, but there were a decent amount of people who said it's because of the licenses. Like if InArt had the licenses that Hot Toys has, then I would probably be more excited for InArt figures. And that I find very interesting and worthy of discussion and a topic. Kiko, is Hot Toys winning because of their licenses, and are they still the king? Where do you stand on this?
Let's talk a little football. All right.
All right.
So you have to look at trends and you have to look at legacy. If I remember back in the day when Zach Wilson was heralded as this great up and coming quarterback, and they're like, okay, let's see what happens here. If he has a good game, does that make him a Hall of Fame quarterback? No, it certainly doesn't. Now you have to look at the legacy of how long somebody's been at something. I know that there's people that think I'm mean to InArt and I love suck dick on Hot Toys, and I don't care. I mean, I like good figures. If I can get good figures, I put them in there. And just like Jimmy said, success depends on your definition of success. So I don't know if you can say that InArt is winning because they put out 3 figures. They have the potential to certainly do it. Just like at the combine, you look at, wow, look how high they jump, look how far they throw, look at all the things they do. The potential is there. Licenses aside, if you are looking at the king of 1/6, especially when the king of pop comes out, I cannot wait for that. I will probably sit down there and bow down that they're the greatest company of all time. But right now, as I said, this is Hot Toys' 20th year of doing this. So just like when, going back to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers has won a Super Bowl, he's won games, he's done things, and right now, if he were to come right out and not snap his Achilles, that's why he was the starter of the Jets, because he has the legacy to back it up. The potential and the mechanics and everything right there for Zach Wilson is there, but he's not put enough of evidence on the field to show that it's going to be the king. So it's going to be time to see. I understand that they're a new company, and 3 great releases in about 6, 8, 10 really good teases and reveals for sure. They have the potential, but I don't know if you can define and hand the crown to somebody because there's nothing to take it away from. And do you talk about gross sales? Do you talk about number of things put out? Talk about quality? I don't know. That's the big question to ask.
It is, bro. It is. And I think your analogy is mostly a fair one, but I would say that InArt has probably performed thus far better than Zach Wilson ever has. So so I do think maybe it would be more like Trey Lance or
here's the other thing, going back to football. And you think about, I saw someone tweet it yesterday. Has anybody played themselves out of the Hall of Fame? If Russell Wilson retired 2 years ago, he would have been instant Hall of Fame. Now, is it possible that Russell Wilson sucks and may not get to the Hall of Fame because of his recent track record? Now, that could be happening with Hot Toys. They could shit the bed for the next 3 years and play themselves out of the crown. So, I don't know.
Right. Absolutely. It could be. I mean, but I do notice a common sentiment being expressed that, like, again, this is 60-40 vote here. And that's pretty close. That's closer than I thought it was going to be with 1.2K votes. So that's probably the most votes I've ever gotten on a poll before. So it's a significant amount of people voting in these polls. And I don't know, man. Like, and I saw a lot of people, I could bring up the comments, but a decent amount anyway, from what I recall, about, sort of if Hot Toys, if InArt had those licenses, I'd be more excited for InArt. So it's like, I don't know. Like, Hot Toys does some amazing work, and I think we're all so grateful for what they've done. It's crazy. It's just, man, like, you got to think like InArt. And again, the reason we're having discussion about the batch system is because people are so fucking hype about getting these figures, and people are buying InArt figures when they probably don't even give a shit about that character just because of how good that figure is. So Hot Toys, I don't know if people, maybe they just don't hear about it. Maybe they still do that. I don't know. Hot Toys is more like, you have more options. Like, I'm going to buy it because I want
some of these artisan figures out. Then we'll talk.
Artisan figures, sure. I think people are buying those for sure, even if they don't want it, probably. Yeah, that's true. But Dean, what do you think, bro? I mean, Hot Toys is still the king. Is their licenses their fallback here?
That's an interesting question. It definitely doesn't hurt. But InArt has the ability to get those licenses, especially now that they've proven what they could do. It's just probably not licensed for us over here. Right. So you still have to go through third-party sellers to get them, which, isn't as big a problem as it maybe used to be. But I on our show, I kind of, to do another analogy.
Yeah.
There's always these car companies that are like, hey, we're gonna beat Tesla. We're gonna come out, we're gonna make a better car than Tesla at like 3 times the price. So it's like, is it better? Yeah, maybe like you get like actual leather instead of that vegan shit that Tesla uses, and the seats are a little more cushy, and you get more like creature comforts, but at what cost? But InArt's prices have also been kind of surprising lately with that Superman. Like I said, you could get it for $312. That's not much higher than Hot Toys.
No.
What we're paying, so the sideshow tax and shipping and shit, it comes out, what was Hera, 260 on sideshow?
Yeah, 260.
So she's probably closer to 220 maybe from a Hong Kong seller.
Yeah, from Hong Kong she was like 205.
205.
Right.
So
about 25%
is 312 from a Hong Kong seller, or not Hong Kong seller, but like it's still much higher. Even getting them through the not sideshow, but it's you gotta kind of beat, if you want to be the best, you gotta beat them on all fronts. So the fact that the prices are a little higher, again, not much, I'm not coming for their throat on this, but like the Joker was kind of insane, right? $1,200 for 2 figures, like, god damn.
Well, $1,500 from Big Bad,
which is sold.
Yeah.
But I think Joker was realistically about, I think it was like $1,095 on kit shipped.
Yeah,
there was some big ass boxes.
Yeah, and to be fair, those were the rooted ones, and that was pretty crazy because people would charge $500 just for a rooted head sculpt back in the day.
Sure.
So the fact that they've even got it at this point is still, credit where credit's due.
Right.
But that is a big ask. So, but now we see Hot Toys doing it too. So it's like, well, like maybe it is just their licensings that are saving them, because the market, hey, if we could get $500 for a figure, let's do it, but yeah, there's a lot of things to consider of why Hot Toys could be winning or losing. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I like it.
Yeah, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I was sitting at work and I was like, I'm going to come up with a pretty cool, fun question. So it was fun. And I thought about this poll actually, and I thought the results were pretty interesting. So yeah, I don't know. I'm fascinated with what both companies are doing. I think they're both making each other better. And again, hopefully J&D and maybe other companies will come into 1/6. And I think there's room enough for everyone if they release really good shit. Kiko,
he's raising his hand.
That was an actual hand raise, because I can't believe I forgot to mention this, because we did a whole interview on it. Yeah. If InArt does not fix their distribution, they will be fucked. Right. That is their thing. That
I think they will get U.S. distribution at some point.
If you get the U.S. distribution, then we can talk. But that's their biggest Achilles heel.
I have one more question after this, if you guys feel up for it.
What is it? Hit us with it.
Do you think InArt also... No. Do you think InArt also moving into 1/12 scale is going to affect their production schedule of 6 scale? Are they biting off more than they could chew? Is that going to affect them in any way? Like,
I was surprised
like an odd move.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that Batman in 12th scale. But I mean, maybe again, like you want as entry level access as possible, and 12th scale is pretty reasonable. You can still charge like what did Lim Toys charge? Like a kit was selling them for like $150 for a 2-pack. So you could still charge a decent amount for 12th scale. So I hope not. I would hope not. I'm sure they've thought it through, but it's I don't know. It was an interesting choice to me, but I guess there's a big market for 12th scale out there that we just don't know about.
Hot Toys has dipped the toe in 12 scale with the Batwing, or the Bat.
That's true. They did.
And it's like, did Hot Toys miss the mark on doing 12 scale? Because now InArt's coming in, they're going to do it, and the Hot Toys might be thinking like, fuck.
Right.
We should have done that, because we've seen them already do the rooted hair and following that market.
Yeah.
So you think Hot Toys is going to be like, well, let's do 12 scale as well.
I'm sure they're both monitoring what one another are doing, as are the other companies too. Yeah. Like I'm sure 3-0 and all of them are monitoring the market, the competition.
Oh, so. 3-0. Yeah, I don't even. 3-0 is not as good. I will say that.
No, they're not on this level, but they do make some really good shit. Transformers, though, that's a different conversation.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't even know if they would even consider themselves even in the same ring, like the same league.
I think for Transformers they do, but not for the other stuff, probably.
Yeah.
But their outfits are great.
I was gonna say that 3-0 has Game of Thrones, and now InArt does too. So
right.
So they might have to.
They're gonna have to step it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, they're gonna have to step it up for sure. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What you're thinking about this, Hot Toys discussion here about licenses. Are they still king? Are they not? I think it's just a fun discussion, regardless of where you fall on it. Again, no hard feelings. It's just a matter of I think it's a fun discussion. Like things are changing in the collecting industry, and we're seeing a lot of different adjustments and sort of evolutions and innovations and stuff like that. And I think it's great, man. I think this is a really good time to be a collector. Yes, prices are rising. However, so is the quality. And I think at the end of the day, we're all willing to pay for quality, probably more than we thought we were willing to pay, but we are doing it, in fact. So consider these artisan figures, consider InArt. J&D is going to come in and really fucking drop the mic, because they're going to be like $800, baby, one figure. And we're going to see for real at that point who's in.
That's wild.
I don't know if they will. They might be $650 or $700. I don't know. But
that's still, that's quarter scale statue money.
It is. Well, I don't even know. For Sideshow, yeah. But like for statues nowadays, dude, Prime 1, quarter scale. Well, I guess quarter scale is like 1,200 now. What is
Prime 1? Dude, Prime 1 pisses me off.
That's a whole nother discussion. But guys, we're going to wrap it there. So we got to wrap it, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Drop any comments below that you have for us. That said, dude, Kiko, thanks for joining, being my co-host as always, man. Of course, both you guys are fucking awesome co-hosts. What's coming up on the Keco Collects channel, man? Are you going to talk about toxicity some more or something?
No, and actually, I am done doing that, because I was listening to a podcast this week where they said, stop being the morality police for audiences, essentially. So all
okay.
that to say is that y'all listen to me for my opinion on figures. I don't care anymore. So it's not my job to police anybody or be nice. So I will just continue to be toxic myself because I'm just going to just do.
I was gonna say, are you gonna call me out and shit? Still?
Yeah. So
Call Dean out.
All that to say is that apparently that didn't land as well as I thought it was going to. So it's not my job to be the policeman of, you know, the collecting world. So, but I did go and do another video about the 10 worst figures in my collection, which people have enjoyed that. And yeah, like half of them are like third-party figures. So go please check that out, and things that you may not exactly realize were on there, because there are some few Spider-Man figures on there that are mid, to be honest, and
You're gonna rustle some jimmies.
I know. So check that out on the stream of YouTube. Check out Insta. Check out TikTok. We're getting close to 600 on TikTok now, so let's keep pushing that up. And we can eventually go live on TikTok Live eventually once I get to 1,000. So
that's gonna be dope, bro. And if I'm there, you're gonna be live before then. And I'll be.
I hope so.
I'll be live with you, dude. I'm gonna see. We'll do it from the bathroom. We'll go live from the new bathroom.
Absolutely.
Show off the new design, dude. Thanks so much, man. Dean the Dream, bro. What's coming up on Collecting Weekly? Because I know you got some shit, and I see Kevin in the background, so I know.
Yeah, he's hanging out. He's waiting for me to finish.
Nice. What's coming up on Collecting Weekly, dude?
Yeah, so tonight we got just another Friday night. I believe they're talking Friday the 13th. That's a pop culture hangout podcast. They usually just drink some beers and hang out. Yeah, it's a fun show. And then tomorrow, I believe we have our D&D campaign. We're doing we have to sneak into a prison to break someone out. It's
nice.
Yeah, my character is the bait, so I'm in prison technically right now.
Damn, you're the booty bait. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in chains and shackles being led to prison.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, we got D&D. Sunday we're off. Monday we'll do some kind of unboxing, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now. We usually do unboxings, but we might do gaming again. I don't know. And then Tuesday we got the main show, news, kind of like today. We talk about the 6-scale news or collecting news from the week. And then Wednesday we have After Dark, where we just hang out and talk shit and really just about anything. So yeah, we got a whole week of content over there for you guys at Collecting Weekly. So come on over.
Nice. Well, guys, check out Collecting Weekly. Awesome dudes over there. Such a star-studded all-star panel. I mean, that you guys absolutely kill it. Yeah, it's amazing. So Collecting Weekly is awesome. Check them out. Thanks to Dean. Thanks to Kiko for joining. Guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like down below, and of course, click the notification bell for updates. Again, check out these guys' awesome channels on this channel. I just did the Game Toys Cloud review, so that's pretty exciting. I'm going to be working on another collection tour soon. I'm going to try to get that out before I leave to go to Kiko's. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, I'm working on the Lim Toys 12th scale Last of Us figures. There's going to be some other stuff along the way. What else have I done? I did the Pennywise InArt review. There's some other videos in the works, things like that, but a lot of cool stuff. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate you as always. And I think it's really just fun to do these live streams and just chill and just talk about stuff. It's so much fun, man. I think it's cool. It's always a good way to lead into the weekend. So yeah, really excited about that. Of course, like Kiko's doing. Yeah, absolutely. The heart. Dude, what the fuck, dude?
What is going on?
I don't do. What the fuck is that?
So I made a heart. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, what the hell?
So how do I get the balloons to go up? Because that's what happened.
I don't know. Like, how do you get it to? Yeah, I know. Like, because you like raised your arm last time.
Is it a setting?
No, I don't know, dude. It must be fucking melon, dude. I don't know. Like, Kiko raised his arm and then like.
Okay, so there's the heart. Okay.
Yeah, it works.
What happens if you do this?
Nothing at all, bro. Just you piss off the audience. That's it.
Yeah. Come on, Dean. Get it work.
My hands might be too fat.
I can't even do the heart right, dude. Mine's like a triangle.
You need to watch a few more Chiefs games then, huh?
Yeah, I think I need to do, man. I need maybe like a pyramid. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. Check out the channel, this channel, and of course all these guys' channels. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Peace out. See you later. Bye. Have a good weekend.